Fam, what's good with you? It's your boy Coach Shinosha coming back for you guys with another one. I picked up a few Kyrie 4s here, and I figured I'd hit you guys with a lace tutorial, try to throw maybe 4 options at you guys. So, featuring Kyrie 4 BHMs and the Kyrie 4 confettis, of course the initial colorway to drop from these things. I figured I'd hit you with 4 options and some quick on-feet looks. Guys, without further delay, let's get into it. Let's get into option 1. So basically we're going to go with kind of like a dead stock loop on this one. I think it actually looks pretty clean on these. So basically you're just going to want to lace it nice and tight, try to get it nice and even. If you're laced all the way up to the top aglet, you're going to have some trouble really getting this dead stock loop looking correct. So I would go ahead and pull these laces out of that top aglet. Alright, now give yourself a little bit of room to play with. Get your foot in there, and basically want to make sure your laces are fairly even. Mine are pretty much dead on. Alright, take your 2 laces, bring them together nice and even. You're going to want to take 2 fingers, okay? So take 2 fingers right here. Try to do this as evenly as possible. Just try to keep those laces from twisting and it'll look a lot cleaner, your end result, alright? So wrap it around your fingers until you've got pretty much a full loop, alright? Full loop. You're just going to wrap it around those fingers once, alright? Now bring it forward. You're going to want to bring your laces to the opposite side. Right now I have them coming out of my right, your left, okay? The shoelaces are popping out. See how they pop out on the right side of my fingers, this side of my fingers, okay? So you're going to want to bring that lace over here, alright? Try to keep, I'll pull my fingers out just to make it easy. Try to keep the shape of that lace a little bit. Now you're going to want to take what you have and don't just pull the ends through, okay? That's a mistake I used to make a lot of times. You're actually going to want to bend the laces here in the middle. Now bring that shoelace, loop it back through. See how I'm pulling a part of that shoelace through? I'm not pulling the tips through. Alright, now pull that through, and then you're just going to work your excess back down towards your action, where you began to crisscross everything. Alright, that can be a little difficult. You'll get the hang of it over time. You'll kind of figure it out. It makes sense. You're basically just going to want to work that loop backwards. I find a good way to do it: hold the laces on this end, hold your loop on this end. I know it's kind of hard to see with the camera, and then pull down, okay? So you've got kind of a dead stock look going on, alright? I like that better than your traditional bunny ears. It just looks a little cooler, a little bit different. Everybody, I'm not going to show you guys how to bunny lace your shoes. This isn't that kind of lace tutorial. I think that's pretty clean looking. I try to actually the portion that loops, I try to kind of wrap them together. I think that's an even cleaner look. It's hard to do on this style lace. With your traditional flat shoelaces, it's a little easier. Alright, that's option 1, guys. We'll check a quick on feet of that. Alright guys, let's get into option 2. One thing that's weird about this Kyrie 4, the top 4 aglets, the ones you're actually feeding it through the aglet and not the fly wire, they're actually flat. Pretty obvious how you have to feed those laces through. We're just going to pull the laces back out. The tongue does feature something that you can feed the laces through to keep that tongue pulled up. It's kind of a weird look when you're going for that real loose laced look with the shoes. So for this loose look, you're not really going to want to hit that top aglet. So you're going to have to really back some of those shoestrings, work them back through the shoe. So there you go, guys. Super loose, huge contrast to what we just did, because again, the lacing was fairly tight until we hit that second to top aglet. The main similarity between lace style 1 and lace style 2 is you're not going to hit that top aglet up here. All right, so guys, let's check these out real quick on feet as well. Check out option 3, okay? So right now we've got the shoes pretty much laced, maybe a little unevenly, but they're laced essentially how they are out of the box, fairly tight, probably a little tighter out of the box. And what you're going to want to do, I would say, lace your shoe all the way up to that very top aglet. Again, that's a difference between option 1 and option 2. We didn't hit that top aglet. Lace it all the way up to the top aglet, and what we're going to do is we're going to just work some of that length back out, okay? Now I would say really start with, especially because the way these shoe aglets are slotted, it's hard to really pull your lace back out. So I would say just go ahead and start by finding the length that you want with your tips. I don't want to leave too much. I think that's a lot, cleaner look. And then basically you're just going to want to work what you have here back as evenly as possible through the laces. A lot of times I won't work it back, definitely not into that first, and a lot of times I'll leave it out of that second aglet as well. I'll leave that a little tighter, and then the rest of the lacing kind of handles all this looseness. So basically what I usually do is I'll just kind of do this and just work my fingers back down through the shoe, let it kind of do what it wants to naturally. Again, because of how those aglets are slotted, it's not working too great. Alright, see how I just worked a little bit into this one right here, none down here really at all. I'm not a huge fan of how that looks when it's real loose, but again, when you're going for that super loose look, if you keep that tight, it looks equally awkward. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Option 3, pretty simple. Again, lace it up to the top and just work your looseness back through the lacing system. This is how I would tend to wear mine, if I was going for that loose lace look. So let's check these out on feet real quick, guys. Option 4, okay? Basically, you're going to want to get to where you were for option 3. Notice your lacing is very tight going up the shoe. I wouldn't say extremely tight. You're still going to be able to slip your foot into that shoe very well. And you've got it laced all the way up to that top aglet, okay? Now see how much excess we have left over? Alright? Now for option 4, what we're going to do is we're just going to double feed our laces through your top aglet a second time, okay? Work that crisscross one last time. I found that the easiest way to do it with this style aglet is take that shoelace that's already in the aglet, try to pull it down, okay? Pull it down so you're exposing the top portion of the aglet, and physically look at it. Now see how little we have left over? That's about the same length we had left with option 3. Alright. Now we're just going to want to do the same thing for the other shoelace. And there we have it, guys. Alright. Very, very simple, And you still got that. I like how this looks. I like that tight lacing. It looks good to me. It's not all over the place. It's not super noticeable that you've double laced it through the top aglet. It's really not something that stands out. It's not like you've got lacing going on, and then all of a sudden here at the top it's just crazy bunched up. That is actually not the case, surprisingly. Guys, let's go ahead and check these out on feet as well.